Well, hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome back to the Jesus Enrique Rosas show. This is our episode 86 after a brief hiatus due to technical issues, and the technical issues were mainly not actual technical issues. In this case, the technical issues were the flesh robot that I use. Let's say my voice wasn't not in top form. They said I did not have a voice. I just recovered that for a couple of videos of the Royal Rogue. But right now, I think I've got 85%, 90% of my voice back. So today we're going to take it easy. Today's show. Still, we have a great show ahead of us, and remember that the best way to support my channel is to like and subscribe. That's it. That's all that you have to do. Like and subscribe. Remember that every single topic that we're going to be covering today, I'm going to edit it and release it as a standalone video in my main channel. So if you want to share that with your family or friends, it's going to be much easier that way. You could also, we're live through YouTube, Rumble, and X. I think that Rumble has been doing a bit of issues today, but I think that we are doing well through Rumble right now. Also, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. About 1 hour after the show ends, you will be able to listen it on your favorite podcasting platform. Also, remember to download my 100 body language tips in the description of this video, and you will be subscribed to my awesome emails. And just a reminder that I've got a book on Amazon, Body Language in 40 Days. My original book on body language. If you want to grab it, it's on Amazon. You can get it in both electronic and paperback versions. Big hello to our live chat, which is the live, the heart and soul, of our show. You know that our show is made. I don't have any real, big guests here. No, you know that this is not a podcast, but I always keep an eye on your comments. It's like that character from Harry Potter, the crazy eye guy. You know, I'm looking at the camera right here. Hello, you're the camera, and one eye, and in your comments right here. Maybe I could go a bit cross-eyed at times, but if you got great comments, if you send great comments and I spot them, I will feature, and maybe we can even spark a conversation from there. That is the idea. We came here to have some fun and to chew bubble gum and have some fun, and I am out of bubble gum, but I got not exactly memes. So we can start with one really concerning news while we warm up our engines today. We're gonna be talking about Schiff, Dan Bongino, Joey Reid, a bit of Germany, about a bit of New York, a bit of Kamala Harris as well. But this is what we need to address first. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer quits sex trafficking case. Under no circumstances can I continue. Boy, if your attorney quits after, Kash Patel was named director of the FBI. He was confirmed as director of the FBI. It's something that I missed because I was away. I regret, because that was historic. You remember that I gave Kash Patel like 20% of odds of being confirmed. Well, it was confirmed at the end. And now Dan Bongino, we'll be talking about that, is deputy director of the FBI as well. So all hell is gonna break loose. And I guess that's why this guy is quitting the Diddy case. And to put this in perspective, this is the same guy who defended Osama bin Laden's secretary when they were suing all this, let's say, bombing people all the way back to 1993 from the World Trade Center bombing. So yeah, it's just the same guy who defended Osama bin Laden, secretary, over terrorist attacks, and he doesn't want to defend Diddy anymore. That is the level of stuff. That is the level of stuff that we are about to face, and people are asking the question, and I can understand. I can understand your concern. You are impatient. You want to know why hasn't the Epstein list been released yet? Pam Bondi says that she had that list on her desk on Friday. Why hasn't it been released yet? That is my question as well. Maybe they are waiting to do some kind of bingo with, or do some kind of special Jeopardy of a show with the Epstein list and with the Diddy tapes. Not that I want to watch the Diddy tapes. Nobody wants to watch that. But yeah, we absolutely need to know why haven't they released the Epstein list. But in some ways, let's say that we have been waiting so much for this that at some point we're gonna find out. That's the ultimate truth. And those who wait ultimately also get a prize. And well, Kamala Harris happens to have gotten a prize from Vice President Kamala Harris, accepting the Chairman's Award at the NAACP Image Awards. All right, so incredibly proud of you, Kamala Harris. So, Kamala Harris, I'm going to tell you, it is great that Kamala Harris is receiving an award for being the first Black woman to certify her own defeat. That is historic. That is something that is just awesome. And we are living the timest of times and be able to witness this ourselves. Congratulations, Kamala. You did great with your campaign. We are going to be seeing watching a bit of what Joey Reid had to say about Kamala's campaign and how both Joey and Kamala are, let's say joining this, let's say this altar of the absolute, those who have lost. I'm not gonna say it any other way. And somebody who should lose, and let's say not elections, but other things, do I have credibility on this issue? J.B. Pritzker, which I have the idea that I will be talking about him more in the following weeks, if not months, is this guy over here that you can probably see on your screen right now. Not gonna say any more about that. RFK Jr.'s views are dangerous, misguided, and deeply disturbing. Frankly, his policies will hurt people. I will push back on any attempts to disrupt the health and safety of Illinoisans. All right, so, well, you know when they say that you need to walk the talk? So as the chivalry girl that says, do I have credibility on this issue? It's a good question to be asking ourselves. Self-awareness is a virtue. It's just something that, yeah, you need to lead by example. Sometimes I don't know, maybe somebody can be, it's understandable. Somebody can be an expert about Mars, and we know that no human has been to Mars, and you can be an expert in Mars without having been to Mars yet, right? That's a thing that you can observe Mars with a telescope, and the rocks that we have. Do we have rocks of Mars right now here? No, right? No, nothing has come back from Mars. But in this case, J.B. Pritzker also has experience, wide, heavy experience about Mars. Not the planet, but the chocolate bars. Mars, the bars, but it has vast experience in that. So maybe in that regard, we should listen to him. Nothing else. Pretty much nothing else. But this is when we start with our main topic of today. And our main topic of today has to do with Adam Schiff, which many believe to be one of the greatest criminals of the 20th century. And we are not talking about guns and nothing of the sort. No, this is much more sophisticated. You remember the Russia hoax? You remember all the lies, all the collusion, all this stuff that is about to explode? Well, we already know that Kash Patel is the director, brand new director of the FBI. And he's going to be, well, you know, let's say that taking his magnifying glass to find out all the shenanigans that has been going on with the Federal Bureau of Investigation through decades. And including that, Dan Bongino, the legendary NYPD, also Secret Service officer, and also legendary podcaster and content creator. That's pretty much let's say that he was already very knowledgeable of everything, because content creator sometimes is so small. I think Dan Bongino is beyond that. The guy is a legend. He's a bona fide legend. He is the deputy, has been named deputy director of the FBI. So he's basically the operations of the stuff. Kash is going to be the director, and Bongino is going to be the one who oversees the operation. The oversees that things get done, and I could imagine somebody, well, more fit for that. As he reposted Donald J. Trump saying this: great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel. Dan has a master's degree in psychology from CUNY and an MBA from Penn State. He was a member of the New York Police Department, New York's finest, a highly respected special agent with the United States Secret Service, and is now one of the most successful podcasters in the country. Something he was willing and prepared to give up in order to serve. It's something that we need to acknowledge as a podcaster, as the biggest podcaster in Rumble, and one of the biggest. I think he's the biggest, we could say, conservative podcaster. I don't know if he wants to be called like that, but he must be, bagging it solid dosh. Okay, so he's pausing that to serve his country. So for that, we salute you, Mr. Bongino. You're still one of America's finest. Working with our great new United States Attorney General Pam Bondi and Director Patel, fairness, justice, law, and order will be brought back to America, and quickly. Congratulations, Dan. And why is Adam Schiff being named so many times? Because Dan Bongino has named him in this context a lot of times. And thank you, Big Fish. Oh boy, went back to watch Dan Bongino's last broadcast, and Adam Schiff is in hot water now. Hot water is an understatement. This is going to be just wonderful to watch.
Particularly good mood today. If you only knew. You ever hear that House on Fire song? It's one of his old songs. This guy's on fire, just like the Bailey song. That house on fire. He is on fire, Schiff. Well, 100% success rate of failing. Why is Adam Schiff so worried?
Oh, Adam Schiff is so worried that he is. I'm gonna say it. I wrote it down and I said, no, this is too bad. This is like a dad joke. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. He's shifting his pants. Oh, I said it. Bad joke, right? Let's continue.
Folks, I strongly encourage you to go back and take another look today at the Russia collusion hoax. I know it's a story that's old and a lot of people want to move on. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want to move on.
Yeah, it's like Obama's birth certificate that it's, let's say, how to say this? It turned out to be fake, it seems. Allegedly, I didn't see the confirmation, but the 1 hour forensics of Obama's birth certificate, well, was really convincing in many ways. So, yes, there are many things that no matter how much time has passed, like JFK's files that are about to be unsealed, Yeah, it's no matter how much time has passed, we wanted to know, right? We absolutely want to know.
We had the FBI in conjunction with the Department of Justice, officials in Congress, foreign governments, and intel people fabricate a story, invent a story that could have caused and done serious long-term harm to international relations with a nuclear-powered foe. It's kind of a big freaking deal.
Yeah, this is important. This is not only about, oh yeah, because this is only about Trump, that his reputation, and he was going to be harmed about this, and what is the big deal? Why, if everything was clear in the end? No, because you were poking the bear. And you know which bear we were talking about, the Russian bear. And that was something delicate, and they were hell-bent on that. Adam Schiff was instrumental in being hell-bent on poking that Russian bear to the point that, well, it's no matter, I don't care what happens to America as long as Donald Trump somehow gets smeared and all that was all fake. So this has to be investigated to the full extent of the law.
I'm not letting it go. And you listen to me. This is going to be very important in the coming days. I'm not letting this go. I want to find out what happened, because it can never happen again. Not to a Democrat, not to a Republican, not to a Libertarian, not to any United States citizen. You do not get to alter or try to change the course of electoral politics by fabricating a story, hijacking the justice system then to give the patina of truth to a fake story.
That was wonderful. Even the patina of truth to a fake story. I'm going to steal that. I'm stealing that 100%.
You don't get to do that. Why do I bring that up now? Because who is the ringmaster of that circus? Yes, Adam Schiff. And no, I'm not letting it go.
Yeah, we need. I need to put a button. I need a button to trigger the Walking Dead choral meme. Oh no! This is gonna be good. And we also have this clip of Cash, the Cash himself, shared by Elon Musk. Saying that Adam Schiff is essentially one of the greatest criminals, not of recent times, but not so recent.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump. Talk about someone who was conflicted out of the game because he was part of the hoax that brought Charmella in, manufactured that false accusation, and then peddled it out to the world, and he continued, not surprising, he's lied about almost everything in his life. But now he lied just to set up a presidential impeachment. And that's what I was talking about, these disinformation campaigns. He should be investigated because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who is a whistleblower, and I can't stress it enough, that started a presidential impeachment.
So we're talking at levels of danger, and levels of conspiracy, and levels of evilness, of being, hell-bent on destroying not only the president of the United States, but the country itself, because you don't care about anything and you just go for it. That is Adam Schiff, and not in a good way. I'm not gonna say it in a positive. Oh, he was, gung-ho and this. You have to copy that approach to everything. No, I'm going to say no in this case, because one thing that is very important to consider is, what are your motivations? What were your motivations, and how protected? This is the important thing. That's why Dan Bongino doesn't want to let it go. How protected could Adam Schiff feel that he knew that he could get away with this? Now, one thing that we know is that history told us, at least up until June 2024, that the Democrats, the demon rats, that as some call them, libtards, I call them sometimes, they absolutely believed that Donald Trump could not be president, and I've told you many times, could not exist, in fact, after July. They know that what they did in that debate with Joe Biden was catastrophic but they had, the solution, but they really never thought that Donald Trump could make a comeback. Not only make a comeback, but win in the legitimate way that he won, the popular vote and everything else. So these people are, I'm going to say it again, Schiffing. All of them. It's not only Adam Schiff. They're Schiffing their pants right now. And the thing is, how can we, this is the most important thing, how can we prevent this level of weaponization of power, of actual power in Congress, to destabilize executive power and the top level executive power? You have the perspective, you have the opportunity of making everything so transparent that this never happens again. And I need to talk about something. You remember that I stressed that many times before the elections in the 20 policies that Donald Trump was pushing for. The policy number 19, I never forget that, because I know how important it has to be clean elections, fair elections, is that Donald Trump already tweeted, shared on Truth Social, that elections should be in the same day and should be with paper ballots. And I'm going to tell you one thing, my wonderful body language buddies, my common sense crusaders. The USAID scandal, you know that all those libtards have been screaming to the top of their lungs that how could you not send money for trans operas in, I don't know, the other side of the globe? How dare you? All this that has been happening with the deportations. Oh no, how are you deporting people? How are you treating like this? There's also even an ASMR video of people in shackles and, entering these planes for deportation. How can you be so inhuman? I'm telling you, the topic of elections, same-day elections with paper ballots, that is going to trigger the liberal. Trump hasn't really gone into that yet. There are many things that are, let's say, more urgent. It has to be done at some point. He has already mentioned that, but that is going to be the actual meltdown of Democrats. They're going to say, why? That, for example, states like California are going to say, no, we are not going to request any kind of identification for voting or that. And that is nonsense. I've told you so many times. That is nonsense. Oh, no, we still need months to count the votes. Hey, I'm talking at you, Arizona. Yeah, that you. I'm talking to you. Arizona and California, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you just need more people counting the paper ballots that you're going to be voting with. And when paper ballots are approved, and they will at some point, all hell will break loose. I mean, this is the thing that after Kash Patel, this is what I think, after Kash Patel was confirmed 51-49, which is as close as it can get. Well, if it was 50-50, we know that J.D. Vance, as president of Congress, would have done the obvious thing. But 51-49, but he was confirmed. And if Kash Patel was confirmed as director of the FBI, we already know that anything is possible. But these people 100% know that is the start of their downfall. That's why we see Diddy's attorney just running away, because they know that all the information they have, I don't know if they can, if they can destroy evidence without, being, criminally prosecuted. I'm pretty sure that destroying evidence is a criminal offense. This is going to be something very bad. But if Kash Patel which was my 20% prediction of happening, was confirmed, then rest assured that paper ballots and same-day voting can happen. Because through the FBI, I think this is the order, the right order of things happening. You need the FBI to begin cleaning house from within, not only Dodge. You know that Dodge is doing all this, the part of the money, but the FBI is going to clean house the part of the, let's say, the government's bodily fluids. I don't want to be as graphic, but you know that this is going to be gross, okay? Not actual bodily fluids, but you know what I mean. So after that, the United States of America are going to realize who is who in every single corner of the government. And after those midterm elections, then we are going to see real change. This is something that's going to happen. This is going to happen. And that real change, I'm going to tell you, one of the most important changes is that securing elections. Once you secure and make elections transparent, you, my friends, you, my American friends, will we get a sigh of relief. You can be relieved, because that is the single most important thing, so you can be sure that no matter what are you going to vote for or when are you going to vote for, you know that your vote actually matters. Oh, well, who cares about that? They're going to steal that with the machines and this and such and such. That is the idea. That is the idea to make people trust the voting process again. That is so important, because that's why it's so hard to make people register to vote, which is the single most important thing. That's what people like Scott Presler has been like the Superman of making people, registering people to vote Republican. And he is aiming even for California, to flip California to red, which would be quite an achievement. But all that, I'm telling you, all this is interconnected. All this is interconnected, and all the steps are being worked one step at a time. We could be a bit, impatient. Okay, we did everything at the same time. We cannot have everything at the same time. If you rush the process, maybe you will not get all the results that you wanted. Right now, with Trump's cabinet, everything is possible, and we will be there to cover that. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Right now, of course, live chat is. I've tried to keep an eye on your live chat. You know that, but I was thinking there's so many things happening. Especially, you know that I had this episode 86 program for past Thursday, but I had to cancel it for technical reasons. I had problems with my voice, and it turns out so many things have happened since then. There's one thing that I want to mention. One thing that I have to mention. It is this one. It is quite funny. It was how a governor, you say that, is that in some cases the FBI is going to do the dirty work when they, let's say, unearth the things that are happening. And in other moments, it's going to be, the Democrats themselves are going to be, that's why I want AOC to keep sharing things to her Instagram. She's doing great. She's doing great. So because of that, in the kind of stuff that we should be reviewing, we have to review how, precisely Scott Presler was talking about this, how Maine's governor was bodied publicly by Donald Trump in the topic, and especially, this is the most important thing, in the topic of men in women's sports. Yeah, there are still people debating the idea that men should be in women's sports. Many people were not aware of what was the topic of discussion in here about the clip that you're about to see, and that is important. It's important to address this. Scott Pressler, Democrat Maine Governor Janet Mills says she won't comply with federal law that says men cannot compete in women's sports. So to make it very clear, she is not going to comply. She wants men. She wants XY chromosomes. She wants the whole enchilada, if you know what I mean, in women's sports. Okay? Because why? Because she's insane. Even Bill Mayer will tell her that she's insane. Because Bill Mayer is clear about that. Yeah, it's focusing on the trans issue and the men's and women's sports issue is going to keep losing these people elections. Again, not complaining. Why are Democrats so intent on erasing women and allowing men to beat up women? Should I come to Maine? Oh, yeah, Scott. You will always be welcome in Maine, and this is the clip that everybody was talking about.
I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Well, here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law.
We are. You know that. You know, Trump has had the slightest slip of the tongue, and he corrected himself in a fraction of a second. It's a bit hard to listen to. I'm going to raise the volume just a bit. See, when he's gonna say that we are the federal law, he says something right before that, and he cuts himself and corrects himself. I'm going to zoom in, so make sure that you not only zoom in but raise the volume so you see how what he says.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law.
He says, well, we are the federal law. So he was essentially, he was going to go full Judge Dredd on her. I am the federal government. I'm the federal law. I am the law. He was going to go full Judge Dredd. But now we have this, maybe he said, okay, maybe we have to say we, right? I am the federal law. If he said, I am the federal law, you know, it would be a complete meltdown. It was already a complete meltdown. Even, I'm going to tell you, even the so-called journalists back in my country, in Venezuela, were saying, oh, this is exactly like Hugo Chavez, a dictator. And I would tell you one thing. This is important, a distinction. Oh, he's imposing something. Like he was an actual dictator. How could he do that? How can you kill that democracy, Jesus? Well, I'm going to tell you what is the difference with Hugo Chavez and any other dictator in general. I mean, if you know that what you stand for is more the moral and ethical thing to do, if what you stand for is as easy as that, the right thing to do, to keep men out of women's sports, to make women safe, feel safe, and be safe in sports, and in the restrooms as well, in every space, if you know that is the right thing to do, it's not an option. You are not only justified, you are forced. You must force and twist anybody's arms because that is the right thing to do. So you might say, oh, that is not how democracy works, Jesus. That's how you get a dictatorship. And I say, what is the topic? So then I ask people on X, so I guess that you agree with men in women's sports. And they told me, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But that is not the way that you have democracy. I don't understand. You don't agree with men in women's sports, like 100%. And they tell me, no, 100%. I don't want that. I want women to be safe. I do want that as well. Trump is doing that and telling this there's a Maine governor, you're not going to have any sort of money, federal money, if you don't comply. And all of a sudden, oh, you cannot do that. That is not democracy. That is That is the problem with not all people, not many people. Many people don't have like the correct alignment of saying that, oh, everything has to be democratic. Everything has to be tolerant. No, once you know that something is nonsense, you have to stick and stand for it. And you've had to be adamant for that, about that. And sometimes you have to force it into people. And you say, you know what? You know what? I am not going to tolerate your nonsense. I am not going to defend your right to destroy women's sports. No, you don't have that right in the first place. You have to shut up and do this thing because everybody knows that is the right thing to do, but that is one kind of manipulation. Oh no, this should not be the right approach. This is like a dictatorship approach. No. So tell them to shut up. Just tell them to shut up. Just something that should be done. And they agree with that. So many people agree in principle with the concept of men not being in women's sports. And they even so, they don't like Trump's approach with this. This has to change. We have to collectively grow a pair. We have to say, we are going to stand for such and such and such. We're going to stand for 1, 2, and 3, for A, B, and C, and going to defend A, B, and C no matter what. We are not going to tolerate or interpret or whatever. No. We have to, you're sounding like a dictator, Jesus. You're advocating for fascism. Well, when it comes to common sense, yes, we have to be fascist. Because if you have to defend common sense with dictatorial means, then I absolutely endorse that. That is the problem. The paradox of tolerance. Being tolerant, so tolerant that it's going to bite you in the end. It's not going to end well. We know because, well, we lived through the Biden-Harris administration with that, but people are eventually, I'm confident that people are going to eventually understand this lesson. They're going to eventually understand this lesson and they will feel better for that. The problem is, and this is important, the problem is that we needed to remind this, we had to remind people this over and over again. After years pass, oh no, I remember, no, this could have been another way. No, this couldn't have been any other way. You have to do things this way. Because these people are degenerates. And if you are a degenerate, I don't care. You could have free speech. You can open your mouth and nonsense can come out of your mouth. You have the right to that. But it is my right to stop you from making it a reality. And that's the problem. That so many people were, okay, just going with this, I'm talking about libtards. Going with the flow, when the flow, I don't agree with this, and all of a sudden, I disagree. You see so many journalists, and maybe I will do a special about all these journalists also trying to having this this sudden transformation. I suddenly love Trump. No, they are all fake. If they change after the election, you know what kind of people they are, including, of course, the not journalist Mark Zuckerberg, but that is the best example that I can give you.
Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should.
Good. I see you in court. I look forward to that. This woman is willing to sue the federal government to let people with dicks and balls into women's locker rooms and sports and everything. Think about that. Think about the level of insanity. No, you cannot give these people not even water. They don't deserve anything. They don't deserve anything, not be heard, not be nothing.
Should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively, and we're going to be protecting our citizens. We're going to protect. So just to end this.
Yeah, this is the thing. And when I say that these people are degenerates, well, we can see this clip. I'm sorry to show you this kind of stuff, but well, Matt Gaetz shared this. This is the governor of Maine at a drag show. In related newsrooms are awesome. She was dancing. I don't have the clip. I think I don't have the clip. You can find it, but I'm not going to show it because, well, it's she basically dancing at a Portland drag show, and this is exactly how can you imagine that clip is. And, well, CW shared this. That face you make when Trump just ended, I would say that bodied your political career. That has effectively ended. And, again, I think that is, the good thing is that America's, and common sense in the United States of America is becoming great again. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Let me see the live chat. Oh my God, yeah, what the actual hell, says MC. That is disgraceful, Sharon Hermer. Everything, this degenerates. Yeah, drag show. I mean, you can have, to be fair, I'm going to be completely fair. I mean, you're an adult. You're an adult. You can dance at a drag show. That is no issue. You have but I don't know. I don't like the idea of a public servant like doing this kind of things, because that is, I don't know how to say this. I don't think that is the way that I want public servants to behave, right? Because especially when you know that there is a very thin line between this and pushing this madness into schools, and you know, so many states and cities pushing this madness into schools, which is completely immoral. Immoral is an understatement. It's way too small, and way too small. When we talk about smallness, we talk about small. Oh my God, let me tell you about small. I have a story about small. Let Maine join Canada. Don't let that. Don't. Both Portlands are Marxist strongholds. Drag show used to be a fringe adult activity. You know, something happening in the churchyard at midday. Yeah, so many things that have happened. But in the current developments of today's news, we also have, I have to say this. In the current developments of today's news, we have that Joy Reid has been fired. And this is a sign of things to come. We already had last year Don Lemon. Don Lululemon. What is the other? I don't remember what was his other nickname. But Joy Reid, you remember that she had a pay cut, like she had like $10 million and she was going down to $7 million. So I don't know if that was Rachel Maddox. I don't remember that. Somebody got a pay cut. But right now, she got out of a job. And if you're still wondering, who is Joy Reid? One, I congratulate you for not knowing who is she, but I'm pretty sure that you know, because it's like many content creators, YouTubers and everything, in every platform. You know, those days when we're going to miss her. I am going to miss Joy Reid, because in those days when, you know, news were a bit slow and things were, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? There was always the easiest way to just go and fetch some clip from Joy Reid, and that's it. You got a 15-minute section talking about her. In this case, well, it's a farewell, but well, Joy Reid has been fired. Turns out calling your political opponents racist and Nazis every night for an hour doesn't get viewers. And that's the thing. This is the kind of stuff that this is the sea change. This is the shift that we are seeing in all these shows. And we also know that The View is in trouble. And we will be talking about The View in just a minute. But you have to watch this clip because I think this is the most representative. I saw her. I thought that she was cosplaying as an Elvis impersonator, but no, she was not an Elvis impersonator. She was just talking about Nazis and stuff. And well, this clip pretty much describes why she was fired in the first place.
Begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election where one side stands for freedom while the
one side stands for freedom. That side, she means Biden and Harris. You know, the ones who let all those illegals inside the country, and then you will. That is not that much freedom. You don't feel that much free in your country if you have to be looking constantly over your shoulder if someone is gonna mug or stab you or something. That is not actual freedom. No.
The other meets the textbook definition of fascism.
Textbook definition of fascism. And this is something that I need to address, which is very important. These people like Joy Reid and the rest of the libtards have, it's like we were talking about this in terms of gaslighting and manipulation. You know that they use the term gaslighting, but I want you to understand what the term implies. And I think that I have done quite a good job and over many shows explaining the term. But these people have used the term fascism and Nazis and dictator and in such a way that they are diminishing the actual impact of actual fascist regimes. And that is unacceptable. As in, nowadays, anybody is a narcissist, or nowadays, anybody has ADHD, or nowadays, anybody could be depressed. It's like that joke from, I remember that joke from Wayne's World. Oh, it turns out I was just bored, but he thought that he had a mononucleosis. So one thing that we need to address is how these people, just to score political points, or just to score clicks, they have tried to manipulate the public into believing that the MAGA cult are fascists, or, remember the very fine people hoax? Yeah, these people are guilty. All of them, from Joy Reid to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, AOC, all of them worked constantly to perpetuate these hoaxes, this misinformation, these lies. And for that, well, they're getting the karma. Karma is finally getting to them.
Namely, a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela.
No. And by the way, that is I have the privilege to be able to call my fellow comrade Venezuelans who are retarded comparing Donald Trump to Hugo Chavez. And yeah, I'm going to tell you, you are just plain retarded. We continue with our program.
Today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator.
Not going to lie, this presentation is terrific. This the images, 3D stuff, the design is top notch. I have to recognize this. This is just top notch.
And controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class.
A dominant racial class. All right. And now you I mean, I would never celebrate somebody getting losing their job, But in the case of Joey Reid, I will make an exception right now.
And foments extravagant corruption in order to enrich the dictator and his friends.
The dictator and his friends. So, oh my God, this is something. This is something that I think, again, just like Adam Schiff, we were talking about him earlier. These are people that thought they were invincible. These people believed that they were protected by the machine. You know, the actual machine, right? When they say rage against the machine, well, rage against the machine, they also feel protected by the machine. That is not counterculture. Like we became the counterculture. The common sense crusaders became the counterculture in this regard. But they thought that they were invincible. They actually thought that their lies would not be exposed in a massive scale. And one of the things I think that we all agree on is that one of the defining moments of this particular part of history is the fact that Elon Musk bought X. And you might have opinions about Elon Musk. You are free to express that in the comments as well. And you could say that there's no actual freedom of speech on X, because if you say such and such, and then you are throttled. Well, he says that there's freedom of speech, but not a freedom of reach. Whatever, it's his platform. But it is undeniable the fact that we could share the clips and compare here and there and push the truth of what's going on. I think that I use X for a lot for research and to find the truth of everything and to dig into the matter of everything. It was a big deal. One of the reasons why we are living this timeline. But this timeline has another thing that should be eradicated, and it's part of that misinformation, which is the view. And right now, we could say that, let's say, not even in the view makes sense, and they must be bleeding viewers by the thousands. If not tens of thousands, especially when, I don't know who, one of them, I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. I don't remember the names of this. I only know Whoopi Goldberg. And Sonny, but I never remember which one is Sonny. And all the times that they have to read this legal, disclaimer. Oh, I said this, such and such last show, and it was not true. I just push a lie. That is not sitting well with anybody. That is not sitting well with producers. That is not sitting well with the audience. So we wouldn't be surprised that maybe the view is not going to disappear, because I'm sure that it's still massively popular. But they're going to get a memo from, the higher ups telling them, you know what, the anti-Trump rhetoric, maybe it's not working. And we say maybe it's because we have already run all the polls. And yes, you have to talk about something else or in a different way. Because, well, if Trump is in charge, if he's the president, it is, it should be material to be criticized, right? But you need something. You need something to criticize him. You're going to criticize that he is banning men from women's sports. How do you criticize that? And there are people, like I'm telling you, even Bill Mayer is calling them out. They are still defending those stances, which is baffling by this point. Well, thanks the Vigilant Fox for this clip. The view collapses into total confusion. The ladies can't agree if blind hiring helps DEI or hurts it. Blind hiring is like when you are going to hire a cellist, like a cello out there, a cellist for an orchestra, and you do some kind of rehearsal of all the ones who are aspiring for the position of cellist behind a like behind a wall, and you just listen to what they play. You don't know anything about that. You don't know if it's a man or a woman, or if it's white, black, yellow, pink, blue. You know the whole thing. No, right? That is blind hiring. Like when you have a resume and you don't see a picture or a name or age or anything. Okay, age is very important, by the way. So this is proof of what is going on in this kind of shows, and this is like the proof that you either change your editorial ways, because well, we already know that you are going to lose brain cells. Everybody knows that you're going to lose brain cells by watching this. But another thing is that the producers and the ABC, they don't want to get into legal trouble, and they don't want to lose the audience, which is pretty much what they view. They are single-handedly doing that themselves.
So companies would hide under this idea of we're so progressive with not a lot of benefits, or not always benefits, to the people they claim to be helping. So some of the ways you change it, Sonny, you've been asking all day, what are the things?
What's the solution?
So she has solutions. She's saying focus on measurable results like pay equity, physical and psychological safety, holding network events, blind hire.
The pay equity, well, when they keep saying that word. They keep saying that word, equity. I don't think it means what they think it means. Yeah, I did it. You know that reference, right? You know that
hiring.
reference.
There are a lot of things that you can couch in
hiring. That makes sense.
Right. But the point,
blind hiring, all right. Blind hiring, that makes sense. Like if you literally don't see any color or age or sex of the person that you're about to hire.
It's kind of merit-based. Isn't that the whole argument that DEI is against?
Well, she dug in because she studied. She's a consultant on DEI for companies for 10+ years, and what she's saying is, regardless
blind
of the
hiring is the opposite of DEI.
Blind hiring is the opposite of DEI. That is perhaps, I think this is the most correct thing that I have ever heard in The View. And I'm not going to say my life, because I've been watching this slop like for 1 year. But yes, blind hiring is the opposite of DEI, because you're going to see a resume that has nothing on it, that doesn't describe anything. And you cannot like fill any, check boxes or any quotas if you don't know what the person looks like. Okay, so yes, effectively, this is perhaps the best thing that has come out of The View in some time.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not true. Yeah, that has to be. Yeah, this is Sonny. Yeah, of course.
The results, just for anyone listening still, the results of this are saying that there were people there that needed help with the diversity, the equity, the inclusion, bringing people on. The pay disparity still exists. They aren't getting the jobs. So not every critic of DEI, which I am one of them, says that it can't do better.
DEI.
Not all the critics of what? What did you say? That was a word salad.
Not every critic of DEI, which I am one of them, says.
Not every critic of DEI
says that it can't do better.
That it can't do better. Not every critic of DEI that it can do better. Oh my God, you can do better. Speaking in a way that doesn't sound like Meghan Markle at the UN. Please.
DEI programs make sure that the most qualified candidates.
What? No. You're not gonna say it. You're not gonna say it. You're about to say it. She's about to say it, right? She's about to say it.
Traditionally excluded from opportunity are given the chance to compete.
That's no, I had to listen to that.
Traditionally, programs make sure that the most qualified candidates.
DEI programs assure that the most qualified candidates.
Traditionally excluded from opportunity.
Why would be the most qualified candidates excluded from opportunities? It wasn't on purpose. And on purpose, we could say that quotas, right? You are male and white, you are automatically excluded.
Are given the chance to compete. So this notion somehow that blind hiring could work, I think that's
But wouldn't
something.
it take the
But it's not
race
about
or identity out of
but
it,
it's
and it would
not
be purely based on what you put forward?
But it's not about merit, because the people that are in these DEI programs are already the best of the best.
The people that are in it's not about merit. It's not about merit, because the people that are in these DEI programs are already the best of them. What did I just heard? What did I just hear? I don't get it. I really don't get
He's
it.
saying the companies end up doing tokenism rather than helping by the way they approach
the number of
DEI.
times I've had people in corporate America be like, lean into the fact that you're an Arab American. I don't ever want somebody to be able to look at me and say you were a DEI hire.
Yeah, see, that is the look. She's got the look, like the Roxette song. All right, so it's Insurrection Barbie says this. New York Post is reporting that the morale on the View is very low because the executive producer Brian Tita has told them to stop the insane anti-Trump rhetoric among ongoing layoffs occurring within ABC. Happy Friday. It was from last Friday. But again, yes, this is... I apologize. I lost like 10 brain cells trying to make sense of that. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments anyway. Where's the live chat? Where's the live chat? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Harry. The Prince Harry. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, something that some of you were asking me is something that you must be aware that I've got impersonators in YouTube. This happens every now and then. You see somebody called Jesus Enrique Rosas with my avatar, my PFP. I see that you have sent me emails with this stuff. I've tried to delete them and notify YouTube, but those sometimes they keep appearing. One thing that you have to be absolutely sure of. I'm not going to sell you anything in the comments. Sometimes I will tell you in the link of the description of the video, but I will never sell you anything in the comments itself. If any, I will make a comment about something, sometimes about, I used to do that, I don't do that anymore. But my some of my older videos still have my link to my 100 body language tips. But if you see one Jesus Enrique Rosas talking about nonsense, some Jesus Enrique Rosas was going to something about religion of something, and going all crazy, all crazy on religion, saying things, and with a WhatsApp number. That is not me. I will never tell you to contact me in any way. Well, first of all, I would be crazy because I have no time. I have no time for anything regarding WhatsApp or any numbers. That is simply not possible. Okay, that is physically not possible. So if you see any impersonator in the comments of my YouTube videos, make sure to report the comment as spam. You must see 3 points, and you see a report, and you see a report as a spam, and that you will help me with this. But I will not be selling you anything in the comments of my videos. If I'm selling anything, which I usually do at the end of my topics, for example, my merch, I will tell you to go to the description of my video. And in the description of my video, you will find, for example, what I told you earlier, my book. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm selling you my book on Amazon, but the link is not in the comments, but in the description of the video. So just be assured that you don't get a scam, that you don't get in all this, I don't know, maybe AI stuff. Because nowadays, now it's so crazy what we are saying with AI, that we never know. Well, I do actually know that you can have robots, AI bots that you begin, right, and they try to impersonate. There was even a Telegram bot impersonating me. It was a Telegram bot impersonated me, and this it was like it was a version of the Nigerian prince, but in this case was the Venezuelan prince, I guess. I'm not a prince, but you get the idea that this is what that's where we're at, and we need to keep talking about scammers. In this case, now you are warned. Now you're warned about this. And let me see. I saw this. I got one in replies, but could see the thumbnail was fake, wasn't Jesus, was impersonating him. When clicked on thumbnail, only one subscriber and just joined, reported. That's another thing. Thank you, Paul Donham. Thank you for that tip. If you have doubts, click on the avatar, on the image, and that will take you to that account's page. You can see that it's my actual side by Jesus Enrique Rosa's channel, which I certainly apologize. I sometimes review your comments, sometimes I highlight your comments, and sometimes I reply to your comments, but I sometimes don't have time to reply. I read your comments. I'm always reading your comments. That's why I tell you though to give me your opinion. But sometimes I don't have time to reply to all of them. Sometimes I do, but certainly I won't be selling you anything. I will be replying and saying thank you for reaching out. And yes, I'm not messaging through WhatsApp or Telegram or any other platform. I'm never asking you money on. This is what was the last time people have told me you should offer more your merch. You can find the merch. I think in the description of this video you should be able to find the link to my merch. But let's continue. Let's continue. Oh my God. Let's continue, and we were talking about scams and frauds. And when it comes to scams and frauds, especially frauds, well, we have already addressed the fact that Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has been not only a fraud, she has tried to blame all the other things of the wildfires on other people, on even the federal government. And right now, thanks to James O'Keefe, there's a leaked phone call in which LA Mayor Karen Bass preemptively, that word is important, defended Ghana trip despite local catastrophe. I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. Dropped cryptic warning days before LA fires. Before the LA fires. So even before what happened, you know that after the fact she was, but there was nothing we could do, and you know that all that was, maybe not everything was her responsibility because there's a chain of command. But the fire chief was fired. It was a bit ironic, right? Fire chief fired for a reason. Read in between the lines. Hold tight. You will understand soon. Read in between the lines. What? Hold tight, you will understand soon. What the actual... All right, I'm going to try to fix this so you can better see the captions in the bottom. You don't get lost. The captions are gonna be important.
Just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it.
Okay, there's some music here. I need to get rid of the music because YouTube is gonna copyright this, and voice isolation. That's it. We can continue. So first she's talking in this hush way, like she's like hiding in some kind of closet or something. This was from January 4, 2025. Let's listen to this again.
And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it, and hopefully you can be grateful. But I would just appreciate, because it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon.
You will understand soon. What kind of message is that? A leaked phone call from January 4th reveals Mayor Karen Bass defending her controversial trip to Ghana while dropping a cryptic warning just days before the devastating LA fires ignited. I mean, you know that I've told you many times that it's not that I have told you, it's that so many times we have seen conspiracies becoming real, becoming the real deal, becoming an actual thing. And when I tell you, when we're talking about conspiracies, it's something that how can I tell you this? It's like one of the greatest conspiracies that we had to handle in this show was that conspiracy, quote unquote, that we were almost canceled for. Like this, during the pandemic, we got this mocking. This is by the way, by Los Angeles Times. You remember that Los Angeles Times have been backing off from all this woke stuff, but this headline is real. I made sure to check it. Mocking anti-vaxxers, COVID deaths is ghoulish, yes, but may be necessary. I'm going to repeat this to you, and I'm going to repeat that this is an actual headline from Los Angeles Times. Mocking anti-vaxxers, COVID deaths is ghoulish, yes, but may be necessary. How much of an MF you have to be to write something like this? And not just that, but in one of the versions of this article, if you can call this an article, they even have a picture of a woman who was, asking questions, was being pushed all this into everybody, and she eventually died to COVID. And of course, it's like the article was kind of a mocking of her death. So this is, I try to be fair. I try to have patience about this. I try to not be unfair, and try to tell you so many times. I'm looking for where were we? We were in here. I try to tell you that some conspiracies turn out, and some conspiracy theorists turn out to be right. Not all of them. But sometimes when you begin to connect the dots, something just don't fit. And in the case of the wildfires at the start of this year, that looked too much like the Maui fires last year. It was last year, right? And that's when you begin to see, I say, oh, okay, what is the big deal with the blue roofs? And then you realize that for some reason that nobody can explain, the mansion of Gavin Newsom, which by the way costs way more than what he would afford with his what he earns as governor, has blue roofs. Its roofs are painted blue. And you see, I don't know, some pictures here and there that we need to confirm. And you begin to see, the rumors. You begin to hear the rumors and begin to realize what is exactly happening, and what is happening and why. The why we already know, and we already know that the way that we solve most of these mysteries is follow the money. You follow the money and you ask. When something happens, something happens, and you want to know who is responsible for that strange things happening, you're going to say, who is benefiting from this? Who is benefiting from this? And yeah, you follow the money. Who is earning money from this? Who is earning money or power or anything from this? And that is going to bring you way more answers, I'm going to tell you, than most body language analysis. And the body language guy, I'm going to tell you, just follow the money. Start following the money, and that will be much easier. You will reach to conclusions much faster. We still have more things than this. A leak form call from January 4th. We didn't know that. And this somehow continues. No, this is, I think there was a community. Mayor Karen Bass admitted that addressing the growing safety issues in MacArthur Park is not her area of expertise. And that is understandable. That's why you hire the best people for the job, right? To have the actual area of expertise. But no, for some reason, it seems like, okay, there's now it continues. Now it does continue.
The situation is very dangerous, and I would never do it. I will take the criticism before I do a publicity stunt. And frankly, a press conference at this point in time, which is the publicity.
I think
I don't
the neighbors, the property owners,
yeah,
and the residents. I mean, 41,000 people live within a square mile here.
yeah.
Two families share a one-bedroom apartment.
But they want to hear that something is going to be done.
They want to know it's recognized. But they want to know it's recognized.
Exactly. But if I have a choice between that and compromising something, I just have to go along.
I just have to go along with it. If I need to choose between this, acting and compromising something, I just have to go along with it. What it is is that we're talking about via her action. This is not like it's the Ghana trip sounds like a big smoke screen. It's like a justification for her to just not be around. Oh, what a coincidence! She was in Ghana and she couldn't cancel the trip, or she couldn't do anything about that, and she couldn't have done anything if she was in the city itself. And in fact, it's not like she was going to grab a hose and try to end the fires herself. No, she was not going to do that herself. But still, it's like she's got this conversation. It is so suspicious, the way that you will soon find. I will not compromise. I will just have to go along with that.
It's not my area of expertise. I want to make sure that you are safe. And hopefully you can read in between the lines.
And hopefully you can read between the lines. Why do you have to be so cryptic? Why do you have to be so cryptic?
But I would just appreciate, and it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon. Okay?
Okay.
And when I am able to talk, I will be happy to go into great detail.
Okay, this is. I wish that all this is just unleashed, just exposed.
And you've got me on the street, and you're welcome to call me at any time. I'll call you right back.
No problem. And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it.
This is something that I've heard. We have analyzed Karen Bass in this show, and that is not the way. That is not her usual cadence or voice tone. It's like she was like trying to hide or making herself smaller, like she was telling this kind of secret. This is something that you can tell just from the voice, just from our recording. That's why one of the best ways to analyze any video, any recording, even video, that's the way that I do it, is to listen to the video without watching the images, or just to listen it, because you can get a lot just if you refine your ear, you focus on the voices of the people. When it changes, when they have stops, when they raise their voice, the kind of words they use. And no, it is obvious that if you tell me, okay, this is her voice baseline, the usual way that she talks, okay, that would be one thing. But we have seen her in all kinds of interviews, both on the street, but sitting down, standing up. And no, that is not the way that she talks. This was a way that she was trying to make herself look smaller. She was trying to hide her voice from somebody else, or maybe she was from her office. She was talking from her office, and she didn't want to be heard by other people, and that's why she was speaking in that way. All in all, you will soon understand. I will not compromise. I will go with the flow. When I'm able to talk, I will go in great detail. And speaking like this is highly, highly, highly suspicious. You tell me that, we have seen so many things in this show about Karen Bass and about Gavin Newsom, especially the way that they sometimes are so nonchalant about stuff. And in the case of Karen Bass, how she wanted it to make it seem like it was not her responsibility. That, I'm going to open an investigation about who could have stopped me from the Ghana trip and didn't. That kind of nonsense. And my question has always been the same. Who is electing these people? Because I get sometimes, they cheat in elections. Yeah, they might cheat in elections in the sense that they only need a majority. Sometimes I can understand people to be frustrated when I ask this question. No, Jesus, we try to stop them. But the thing is that you're not trying hard enough. I'm sorry to break this to you, but you're not trying hard enough. Because in so many ways, this happens like Keir Starmer in the UK, in which only 20%, he only needed 20% of voters to vote for him. Because the other option was less than 20%. And all the rest of the people simply didn't vote. So this is my advice for you. This is the era in which elections are going to be made transparent or clearer. Depends on the state, of course. We expect to this to be some kind of federal law about elections. But if you don't vote, if you don't register to vote, this is going to happen again and again and again. So it's not only you registering to vote, but bringing your friends and family to vote. Sadly, I can understand 100%, but I could tell you that even up to the last 48 hours, I can understand that you say, hey, you should vote for such and such, Donald Trump, and you will, being scoffed at is the least of your worries. You're basically going to be ostracized. You're basically going to be ostracized from family and friends sometimes. I can understand that. You can get even fired from your job. That can happen. I can understand. We still live in those times. We haven't gotten out of the insanity yet. But we can do something which is, try to drag people into registering. Go and register. And that's the first thing. That is the way that you can actually make a difference and vote these people out. If you don't, they will keep winning by cheating, and which is essentially just winning by the majority. And if 20% or even 15% is the majority, they will win. What are you going to do about it now? I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Hey, let me see your live chat. We still have some topics ahead of us. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Germany right now. We're going to maybe, I could talk about Germany very briefly about Germany. We're going to be talking about the elections in Germany because this has to do with that. So the thing that with elections in Germany, it's great that AfD, which is let's say the German MAGA, if you can think about it that way, it got a healthy 20%. Has been one of the fastest growing parties in Germany, and they were all out. Specifically, one of the most important things was closing the borders and mass deportations. You can see that N Wokeness share a very graphic, okay, sorry, between AfD in blue between 2021 and 2025. You see all that is the difference is impressive. They got that 20%. And, well, there's a problem. And the problem is that you simply cannot do anything with 20%. The only thing that you can do is to try to enter in a coalition with the other parties and try to, let's say, well, let's try to do something about this together. But nobody wants to do anything with AfD, because, well, they are essentially seen as Nazis, like literal Nazis. That is the issue here. That is the problem at play here. Not only that, we also have this other problem is who are voting for whom. Naomi saved. Boomers prevented AfD victory. Germany's oldest voted for the CDU as they were force-fed propaganda for decades. Legacy media is powerful among elderly German traditionalists. Declining birth rates led to an old society, and that old society is voting for the CDU. I'm going to say something about the CDU in a minute, but mark my words, X will replace the media soon. I don't think that will be as soon as we would like for Germany to be, because it all boils down to who... Again, if you think that your vote can make a difference. And regarding the CDU, you have to understand this. Basil the Great shared this, that yeah, we need to fact check, and this is for real. Quickest broken promise ever. Only one day after the election, one main promise for Germans was broken. What was that promise? Leader of the CDU, which was a party that the Christian party that is essentially kind of like a Reno party, like a Republican in name only, like Christian in name only. There is a bunch of Marxists in that. It seems just Friedrich Merz just completely went back on what was said during the election and announced that there will be no talk of shooting the borders to those without valid documentation. So, just so you have this right, the party that got the most votes had promised to talk about, let's close the borders and stuff during the campaign, and not even 24 hours after the elections, they went for 180. Let that sink in. Only the AfD can be trusted to save Germany. But the problem is how much more has Germany to suffer before the AfD can have a real shot at this? Because it's if nobody wants a coalition with the Nazis or the German MAGA hats, I want to say it very clearly again. None of us will talk about border closures. No one, although this was claimed at times during the election campaign, none of us want to close the borders. Germany is done. I am sorry to say this, but Germany is done. I have a lot of body language buddies, a lot of common sense crusaders. You reach out to me on X. You reach out to me in email. You cannot express your ideas. I feel for you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but Germany cannot be saved at this point. I'm always try to be hopeful about the future. Let's see if we can work this out. This cannot be worked out. This cannot be worked out. Germany is on a slow death, and it's way past terminal. And Even worse, let's fact check this in all cases. Did Friedrich Merz say there will be a de facto ban on entry into the Federal Republic of Germany for all those who do not have valid entry documents during the campaign, of course? Did he say that? And yes, Friedrich Merz did say there will be a de facto ban on entry into the Federal Republic of Germany for all those who do not have valid entry documents for the campaign. For the campaign. And it was a lie. He knew that the people of Germany wanted that, and the people of Germany went and voted for the CDU. Oh yeah, they're saying that we are not going with the Nazis, so the CDU is gonna do the same. No, you have been fooled. You were fooled. You were lied to. Germany is done. Germany is done. This statement was made in the context of his proposed migration policy overhaul, as reported by multiple sources, in late January 2025. Specifically, on January 23rd, 2025, following a deadly knife attack in Aschaffenburg, Merz outlined a plan that included imposing permanent border controls and barring entry to those without valid documentation, emphasizing this as a key action he would take if elected chancellor. What the F? The quote aligns with his broader rhetoric at the time, where he also extended this restriction to include those seeking protection as part of this push for stricter immigration measures ahead of the February 23rd, 2025 German federal election. But now, it's worth noting that more recent statements from Merz, such as I thought that it was pronounced merde, but no, that's French, right? No, yeah, that's French. Such as February 24, where he said, nobody wants to close the borders. Nobody wants to close the borders. Suggests a possible shift on softening in his public stance. No, this is way too much. This is way too much. I mean, I feel the pain for Germany. Germany is a beautiful country with so many beautiful landscapes, so many amazing cities that have been essentially destroyed by this invasion. Thank you, Angela Merkel, and all of those who were implicated in this literal invasion. It has been happening. It is happening and will keep happening. Until when? I'm sad. I'm really sad to say that I don't see a way that the AfD or any other party with common sense will be able to have actual power before Germany is completely destroyed. So essentially, Germany is lost. I could be wrong, but I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think Germany has still a chance the next elections or something, or it is cooked essentially? Let me know. Let me see your live chat. In the live chat, Hitler's favorite drink was Coca-Cola. All right, and that is relevant because I don't get it. Nothing will change. Merz will go together. The crazy woke SPD. These parties are calling AfD Nazis and vowed to form a cordon sanitaire against them, as if the AfD are the ill ones. Yes. Yeah, they're so bad. They're so bad in many ways. So bad in many ways. And another thing that for Americans, this is more close to heart to Americans, what we're about to see right now. This is much more relevant for Americans in the sense that, well, Zelensky has taken his mask off and has revealed the actual grift of what is going on with the money, with the billions with a B sent to Ukraine to aid for the war with Russia. Robbie Starbuck. So Zelensky says that the hundreds of billions we gave him was not a loan, as in it's going to be paid back, right? Right? But a grant he doesn't need to pay back. Now would be a good time for senators to speak up. Did you vote to give our money away as a gift to Zelensky? A big question, right? He's doing this. If so, voters should fire you. Again, we have the benefit of being able to, the before and after. We hope we have this clip first.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please give us a credit.
You're gonna repeat and there's thank you some 60th sent a super sticker, but you were blocking that. I'm gonna read your super sticker in a minute, but let's rewatch this again.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please give us a credit, and we will give you back
money. His words, not anybody else's. And now what is this?
Знаю, що у нас було 100. І це факт. Я не збираюсь визнавати 500.
You remember that he doesn't know where like 100 billion went. Like I don't know. I know that almost 200 billion were approved, but I only have seen like 80 billion. Like 100 billion went poof.
Хто б що не говорив, як би ми не спілкувались, при всій повазі, ще раз, при всій повазі до...
You know that is an actual joke, right? That is a meme. You can say anything you want after when you say with all due respect, you can say anything that you want after that. And he's using it.
Партнерів, але я стійко стою, тому що це правдива ситуація. Абсолютно ми праві. І друга ситуація, якщо чесно, навіть 100 мільярдів я не готовий фіксувати. Поясню чому. Тому що ми не маємо визнавати гранти як борги.
We should not recognize grants as debts. I mean, this is the most Amber Heard thing that I've seen without being Amber Heard saying it. Like this is not donate but pledge. It's not a loan, it's a grant. So we don't have to repay that. I mean, how can somebody just grab a microphone? I mean, how much Coke, baby powder, how many 8 balls? Did you know that these days, by the way, we're talking about nonsense. The Vogue cover, Vogue magazine cover of Zelensky and his wife, you remember, were the bombings and the war, and they had time to pose for a photographer and professional photography. I don't know if it was Amy Lebowitz. I don't know, it was something that you say, that's the kind of things that I said, wait a second, that this doesn't fit. This doesn't fit a narrative that your country is in actual turmoil. I mean, I'm not saying that the war is not happening. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, taking pictures and posing for a camera in that way is like the right thing to do if your country is in trouble. You can absolutely do a press conference. That's one thing. You are in front of the camera, but you're not posing for a camera as in let me how can I look more presidential like this? This is my good angle. Okay, raise your chin a bit, Volodymyr. Yeah, like that. Raise a brow, look to the camera now. Okay, I remember like that scene from Lost in Translation. More intensity. And you see it, Volodymyr, for relaxing times, send us another grant, another billion grant. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is I need to joke about this. I need to make memes, create something about this, say something about this, because there's so many ways that this is literally stealing from people. And I needed to reinforce the fact that this was approved by Congress people. And you have to go and spot who were those Congress people. They were okay with this. And realize, do you still want those Congress people in Congress? Those senators, do you want them in there? What are you going to do about it? The only way that you can do something about it is registering and vote. I'm going to push that again and again. I'm going to highlight Veronica's comment. She's from Ukraine. Zelensky turned 180 after the election. He only won by his promise for peace when he did everything to escalate and embarrass Ukraine as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. This is what you get. And this is what you get. It's something unacceptable. And what so many people have tolerated for so long, because, if you dare to challenge the narrative, you know what was going to happen to you. You were going to be canceled.
Подобається це чи не подобається? Я домовлявся
Do you like it or not?
з Байденом і домовлявся з Конгресом Сполучених Штатів Америки. Я вдячен Конгресу. Це була присутність двох партій.
Yeah, we need to spot those people. You need to spot those people and make them actually pay for this. The way that we are going to pay for this, first step is voting them out. That's it. That's all that we need to do. I am not talking about any other courses of action, just voting them out. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Let me see the live chat. Let me see that's another couple topics. We still have some more topics in the chamber to talk about today. There's two topics that I want to talk about. One is one very concerning about, you know how much I despise sanctuary cities. I despise sanctuary cities with a passion. Not the cities themselves, because San Francisco is one of my favorite cities. This is still one of my favorite cities in the United States. After you clean all the, how to say this, my God. After you will have to go full OCP on San Francisco and disinfect everything to make it make San Francisco great again. At some point, I don't know, maybe it would happen. I really hope it happens. But that for me, the concept of sanctuary cities is one of the worst things that Americans could come up with. And I wouldn't say Americans because it was a tiny fraction. All the time, you just only need a tiny fraction of people to agree on something to, let's say, to screw everyone else. Hundreds of millions of people in the United States. And right now, let me see if I need to make sure that my, where's Google Chrome? Chrome is here. Oh my God, I thought I had this, let's see the history. Okay, now I have this. Okay, I need to highlight something that is happening. This is gonna be rather quick as well, but it's very important because you are not gonna like this. You are not going to like this because the New York City Council is thinking of just removing, deleting, erasing the say the gang and thugs registry. This is crazy. This was I'm going to read this directly from the account of Councilwoman Vicky Palladino. Vicky Palladino shared this, and I absolutely needed to share this with you because as this happens in New York City, thanks to the New York City Council that have lost their minds, that I cannot imagine people more woke than this. This can happen to any other city in the same circumstances. So watch this. With everything else going on, you might be interested to hear about what the New York City Council is going to be doing on Monday. See, the so-called Public Safety Committee will be holding hearings to advance a bill which would erase the gang database for New York. You have a gang database and you're going to erase it. As in, it's like, oh, Trump is about to fix the city. Let's see how we can F up the city in other ways. That's right. As our city reels from gang violence, organized retail theft, transnational criminal organizations, and the federal government moves to designate many of these gangs as terrorist groups due to their extreme violence and significant resources, progressives, the libtards, the usual suspects on the city council are working overtime to ensure these violent criminals continue to have free reign over our city. This is unacceptable. Again, if I'm sure, as I understand, the New York City Council can pass this, but Mayor Eric Adams could veto whatever the New York City Council passes. But if even if Eric Adams vetoes this, again, this is my understanding of what can happen. If they get a majority of, I think, more than 32 or 33 votes, or 51 of them to compose the New York City Council, then they can actually get this passed, even if the mayor of the city vetoes it. So this is F up. This is actually very, very F up. Intro 0798-2024 would require the destruction of the gang database and prohibit by law any iteration of it from being created in the future. It's not only that you're going to wipe out the gang database, it's you're going to expressly prohibit for it to be created in the future. That is the level of insanity. I'm going to tell you, there are levels of insanity that we have seen in this show. And I cannot believe how this can be a thing. How can somebody can be, I don't know, so hell-bent, and not one person, many people be so hell-bent in destroying the livelihood, the value, the everything of such a wonderful city as New York? How can these people claim that they want the best, the well-being for the city, if they want crime to run rampant and unchecked in this? Going to continue. This is okay. It would also notify gang members of their inclusion on the database and provide them with their records and give them the right to sue the city over it. Even if you are a gang member and you appear in those records, you can sue the city for having you in the records. How crazy is that? This is insane. This is what matters to progressives, making sure that criminals not only act with impunity, but also giving them a path to major lawsuits to enrich themselves with our tax money. Tax money. I mean, these liberals, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to recognize, these libtards are quite creative and quite resourceful. Man, they have to be voted out. None of this makes us safer, quite the opposite, but they don't care. They don't care about the law-abiding citizens. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about who they hurt. Of course, they say, oh, you cannot have these people like in this Nazi list. I can imagine them saying, this Nazi lists, that is inhuman. You cannot classify people as gang members because that is inhuman. You are labeling them and you cannot do that and all such and such and such. That's how you destroy cities. That's how you destroy cities. So understand, if you're a regular working class individual, progressives don't care if you're dead or alive. It's really just that simple. There's no other way to explain any of this. there are violent gang members operating right now all over the city, in Times Square, in migrant hotels in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Again, this is New York City, but it could happen to your city as well. I mean, Tom Homan is doing a good job at make sure that ICE begins deporting all this, that they are labeled as the Tren de Aragua is labeled as a terrorist organization, and they are just nuked and deported out of existence. But it's going to take some time, and these people are doing all they can to perpetrate the chaos. And why, would you ask? I've told you many times, a chaotic city, a chaotic population is easier to control. It's that simple. This impacts every community in every neighborhood, and it's getting worse. Erasing the gang database will frankly be a nuclear bomb on law enforcement. Police will lose one of their most important tools for understanding and building cases against the criminal networks which operate here, because it's like when you have, in movies, that map with, okay, this is connected to this, and this guy belongs to this, and this guy has hang out with this, and this committed a crime with this, and you have like a map, right? Like an Excel spreadsheet, and they want to wipe out that and prevent for anybody from building one in the future. If this gets to pass, I'm telling you, other sanctuary cities will follow suit as well. That is going to be catastrophic. Police will lose one of the most important tools. Understand, it will thwart our efforts to target the worst and most violent recidivists in the city, from shoplifting to extortion to fentanyl to murder for hire to human trafficking. Everything will become more difficult and dangerous. Catastrophic isn't even a strong enough word. But again, progressives just don't care. Remember this next time they're crying about the chaos supposedly caused by Republicans. And here's the thing. This disgraceful bill already has 24 co-sponsors on the council. 24 of them. Remember they did that. They only need 2 more to pass it into law. And you can bet they will get those votes. Again, follow the money. You need to call every council member who has not yet signed onto this bill and tell them you're against Intro 0798. But even that's not enough. It's time for the federal government to step in here in a big way and thwart these lunatics in their effort to destroy what's left of our city. I would say, I want to understand. I always say that, I want to understand them. No, I don't want to understand them. I just want to stop them. I no longer want to understand their motives, because regardless of what are their motives, their actions are insane. And if somebody's actions are insane, you don't have to, let's try to reflect on why does that behavior comes from. Nobody cares. They must be stopped. That's the most important thing. Oh, maybe they had a rough childhood. Maybe they studied Karl Marx too much. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you are, a Bernie Sanders acolyte or something like that. Nobody cares about that. You must be stopped. We must stop all these people, not only in New York City, in all the United States, in all the world. They must be stopped, because all they want is chaos and destruction. And because of that, they are evil and immoral. And that is the least that I can say about them. That's the least. But I would like to know, what do you think about this insanity in the comments? Where's my live chat? If Eric Adams had anything to do with this, Trump should cut funding to New York immediately. He doesn't, because again, this is my understanding, and I have some followers from New York City have explained this to me. Have reached out to me because of this. I asked Grok, and it's like, yes, Eric Adams could veto that, but if they get the majority, they get to 32 votes, then it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. Let me read before we move forward. We still have one topic. It's gonna be a longish show today. Let me read their super chats so far. Jada Z. Jada, this is a problem that I don't know who you were talking about. She hates white people so much. Why does she wear white ladies' hair? You were talking about who? Let me see who you were talking about. What's topic? So many topics today. Oh, that's was Joy Reid. I think you were talking about Joy Reid, of course. Yeah, we lost brain cells, Amber TSW. I wish that was a joke. Lose brain cells, my quote for the day. Love your content. You are so funny and smart. I wish I was joking, Amber TSW. But yeah, we actually lost brain cells. Well, it's more than one section of today's show, but it's all because we want justice. We want justice. And the 16th, I saw your super sticker, by the way, Peter character turning around, waving his hand, saying, "Hey you," while lowering his glasses. But we still have one more topic today. We still have one more topic today. One more topic today that we need to address. And this topic is quite painful. Maybe not painful, but quite insane. I mean, this is not only the common sense guy. This is the insanity stuff guy. This insanity stuff guy. I mean, I'm gonna talk briefly about the UK. Then something that it's concerning. Really concerning. We were talking about Germany, that Germany is basically lost. And I don't know if the UK still has a chance of, recovering or making a U-turn, a 180-degree turn and make the UK great again. We want the UK to be great again. We want Europe to be great again, mega, but this is not helping at all. Mario Knopfel, UK free speech crackdown. Police target grandmother over Facebook posts. A grandmother, Helen Jones, was left shaken after 2 police officers arrived at her home, all because she criticized Labour Party councillors on Facebook. Her crime, let's see the complete from Mario, calling for the resignations of officials caught in a WhatsApp scandal where one politician wished death upon an elderly voter. Greater Manchester Police admitted she broke no laws. Yet, their visit left her feeling terrified and too afraid to post online again. I can understand that because you have, these people use power. This is the video of what went on. I showed you the video. This is the video of they arriving this grandmother's home. I mean, my question is, aren't there enough, criminals in the UK doing heinous stuff with very pointy knives and machetes and everything else in between, to be worried about Facebook posts? This is a way, I'm going to tell you, this is a way precisely, this is a way to terrorize people. It's like, because other grandmothers and grandfathers, other elderly people are going to say, all right, I don't want police coming to my house. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want all the trouble. She's showing his identification to the home camera. Other people are going to know about this and they're going to say, I don't want to get into any trouble with the police whatsoever. And I'm just going to post, animal and baby AI slop on Facebook and nothing more. I'm not going to post anything on Facebook or on WhatsApp or Instagram. Remember that Meta, the company owned by the lizard Zuckerberg, owns all 3 services, all 3 apps: Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Remember that. Some people don't know that. Some people are not aware of that. And Zuckerberg wants to play like he's the good guy right now. Oh, we are going to fight against censorship. Bollocks. bollocks. That is not happening. That is not happening anytime soon. In fact, that's how you see that Zuckerberg is not pronouncing himself about this. So how are you going to say that a Facebook post is worthy of 2 police officers visiting an elderly lady? I mean, critics, including Lane Duncan Smith, blasted the police for acting like thought police. Well, they're not acting like thought police. They are thought police. They're not acting anymore. They're not hiding it anymore. They don't want to, keep appearances or something like that. No, they are actually doing it. They're going all the way there. While Toby Young warned of Britain's growing authoritarian atmosphere under Keir Starmer. I wouldn't call it atmosphere. I would call it like, this is like jelly. Like, it's not an atmosphere. You cannot even breathe with that authoritarian regime. I mean, this is the worst. This is the worst that has been happening. I still want to have hopes. I don't know if I'm too naive or I'm too hopeful. I still want to have hope for the UK, but when are the next elections? When are the next elections? How long are they going to be under Keir Starmer's boot? How long is this going to be happening? It's going to get worse because, again, these are terror tactics. You do this appears in the Daily Mail because we have to know about this. But the problem is that I say this, let's say, expose this in my show, and maybe you are an elderly lady in the UK and say, "Oh my God, I don't want that happening to me. I don't want that. I don't want to get into trouble." And that's how you silence people. You silence people by way of terror. This is like a message that they are sending. They make sure that the Daily Mail covers this. They make sure of that. Meanwhile, real crimes in the area go unsolved, with the nearly 75% of shoplifting cases ignored. I mean, I could tell you, I don't want to become, tabloidy or gruesome in my show. You know what is already happening in countries like Germany or the UK or the Netherlands or Austria. Terrible things. As of course, checking all those news all day long are a drain of energy. I don't want to give you that drain of energy. I try to bring you what is relevant for you and the most entertaining when possible. But how can you be entertaining? How can you find, what kind of entertaining angle can I find? Tell me, because I don't know of this happening to people who are doing nothing, have committed no crime, are doing nothing illegal. This is bullying. This is harassing. And for some of you who have been asking, no, I don't live in the UK. And as I'm telling you, I would have to think twice before visiting the UK again. It's gonna be not a good idea. I'm pretty sure I'm in quite a few lists, like MI5, MI6, and every MI before and after that. So no, I don't think it would be a good idea for me to visit the country. It's like what happened to Father Calvin Robinson. You might know Father Calvin, in which he was in Israel, and while he was in Israel, his visa in the United States was revoked. He found out he already moved to the United States, and his visa, Father Calvin Robinson visa in the United States to be a legal resident in the United States, had been revoked. He was not only, banned or revoked his, I don't know how to say that, his parish in the UK, but his visa to stay having all his stuff in the United States, he cannot enter the United States anymore. Even his ESTA permit to enter the United States has been void. So he cannot enter the United States. I don't know. I think he had already sorted that out. But then it was the thing that he had to, the option that he had, he could stay in Israel. And you know that since Hamas did not hand over all hostages, then he didn't know what could happen in Israel while he was in there. So it was dangerous, of course. The other option would be to go to London, to the U.S. Embassy in London. But Father Calvin Robinson knew, he wrote a lengthy blog post about that he was afraid of, who could stop anybody from detaining him at the airport and charging him with hate crimes or any sort of crazy stuff. That is the sort of things, that is the sort of world we are living in which countries which we used to say that, well, these are bastions, these are first world countries, these are, these are, bastions of first world, have become this kind of between a banana republic and a tyranny. This is something unacceptable on every level. And at the same time, they allow for all these abroadians not only to enter the country freely and go in and out, because you know that something about abroadians is that so many of them enter the country because, we are looking for asylum, we are refugees or something. For some reason, over the summer, or no, it would be the other way around. It would be over the winter, over the London winter or the UK winter. Somehow they go back home. And then when the weather is nicer in the UK, they come back to the UK. How does that work? I don't know. Somebody should answer for this, because it's not only the UK, but many other countries in Europe are suffering under this insane policies that nobody. And why? If you try to complain, you're a bigot. How dare you? We need to embrace our brothers and sisters who come from these torn countries, and meanwhile you will be paid a visit by two very busy police officers over a Facebook post. Make it make sense. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. So, yes, we have to stay positive. Suzanne Nichols, we have to stay positive. We have to stay positive. I need asylum in sunny Florida, says CW. Oh my God. Yeah, this is so much insanity. But I mean, this is what we got, and this is why we need to fight back. There was one super chat that I missed. SJ, thank you for your super chat, SJ. Jesus, censorship and harassment against people with common sense are the norm now in Europe, not only in Great Britain. Sadly, it's a reality. We need to, and the problem is that what has happened in Germany is catastrophic for the future of the rest of Europe. Because it's like setting an example. It's like, there's no, this, you know what? We fooled our voters again. We told them that we were going to close the border. We fooled them. You can do that in your country. In the Netherlands, you can do it. In Austria, you can do it. In France, you can do it as well if you want. Yes. SSJB. I'm going to address before we say goodbye. Thank you, SSJB, for mentioning this. Last week I got some problems with my voice. You have, okay, SJ, by the way, SJ gifted 5 memberships. SJ, thank you as well. SJ, where's SJ? SJ gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, SJ, For that, you know that you can become a member of my channel by hitting the join button. We sometimes have members-only live streams, but the thing is that I was straining my voice that much. It's not only the strain of the live streams. It was also some things happening. You know, you already know that my personal life has to be affected for what is happening in my country, Venezuela, which is not looking good. I'm sorting things out. What is happening in Venezuela? Well, the problem is that not much is happening in Venezuela. Like Maduro is gonna keep him there, so people are losing all hope. And many people who really hope that there was gonna be a change this year are desperate at the perspective of 6 more years of narco tyranny. But again, I for my members, this is for my members. So many of you have requested the members only live chats. Maybe I could do some members only videos, some members only live chats. I don't know, because you know I like to talk. I don't want to just do the live chat and just shut up. I like to keep talking. Maybe when my voice recovers 100%, we can keep doing the membership. You might already have noticed that I used to have 5 levels of memberships on YouTube. I only have 2 of them right now. I removed the higher ones that had more perks, but I couldn't keep up with the perks. Some perks even had this sort of coaching and conversations, but I just couldn't keep up with that. I'm trying to focus on giving you the best possible show right here on the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel, and also on my Royal Rogue channel. In Royal Rogue channels, I'm going to be updating more and more, and I hope that every day. So again, my tool of the trade is my voice. I'm training it. I want to do impersonations. I want to do a lot of things. That is the way that I compete with AI. This is the way that this is a thing. This is a thing that, you know, this is not only, this is, I am, you know, the real Jesus, the real one. You know, you know me. And also the way that the things that I come up with in every show. So my priority is giving all of you the best shows possible, but my members, I eventually will give you special perks. So meanwhile, until my voice is completely recovered, the other day was sounding awful on the Royal Rogue, something like that. But until then, rest assured, I will come up with something. Well, my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and until we meet tomorrow on episode 87, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.